A U.S. immigration court has ruled that a Salvadoran general accused of torture and killings during the country's brutal civil war can be deported to stand trial. The landmark ruling is the first against a top foreign military officer accused of human rights abuses. General Eugenio Vides Casanova was defense minister in the 1980s when the military committed some of its greatest atrocities against civilians. The U.S. judge ruled Casanova should be deported to face trial on accusations he assisted and participated in the rape and murder of 3 American nuns and a church volunteer in 1980. He's also accused in the killings of 2 Americans and a Salvadoran activist in 1981. Casanova was a top U.S. ally in the fight against Marxist guerrillas. More than 75,000 people were killed during El Salvador's civil war. A judge still has to issue a final deportation ruling before Casanova can be sent back to El Salvador. Patty Blum is a senior legal advisor at the Center for Justice and Accountability, an organization that helps survivors of human rights abuses seek justice. I asked her how significant was the U.S. court ruling on deporting General Vides Casanova.
It's very significant for General Casanova because it's the first step on the way to having him be forced to leave the United States. It's additionally significant as a step on the path to full accountability for the crimes that have occurred under Vides Casanova and other top commanders in El Salvador in the 1980s.
You say it's the first step. What is the procedure? What happens next?
Evidently, he is going to be permitted to come back in front of the immigration judge and try to raise any possible defenses he might have to being deported or removed. Now, honestly, I can't imagine what those would be, but he isn't precluded from trying to make some argument that he still should not be deported. At the end of that proceeding, the judge, I believe, will enter an order of removal. He will have an opportunity to appeal that administratively.
Now, this particular piece of legislation that was used by the court to make this decision, has it been used before?
It's been used before, but it has never before been used for a commander at his level of command. He's absolutely the top commander that has ever been subject to this provision. They've used it against other commanders. They've used it against a lot of, foot soldier type people, but someone who attained the position of Minister of Defense during a military dictatorship has never been subject to it before.
Do you see this as a victory, albeit a small one, as you've pointed out? It's the first step, one of many, especially for those people who were allegedly the victims of General Vides Casanova.
Absolutely. I think the victims and survivors of the military dictatorship in El Salvador feel, heartened by the fact that there at least is a measure of accountability.